Hi everyone, so as you can tell by the title, I'm coming to do a pregnancy update video, and I am currently 38 weeks pregnant. I will be 39 weeks very soon. So I was like, you know what, I gotta go ahead and get this 38 week out the way, because if not, I'm gonna be 39 weeks and then she's gonna be here and then that's gonna be it. But yeah, 38 weeks pregnant, and I'm basically just going to talk about where I am right now. So, I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. A couple things that I'm experiencing at this point in my pregnancy are, by the way, this is going to be a TMI video just to put it out there. All pregnancy videos, for the most part, are TMI videos because you're talking about intimate things and things changing with your body and so on and so forth. So just to put that out there. 38 weeks pregnant. A couple things I'm experiencing, or that I have been experiencing within the past week or so, is sour burps for one, which I hate sour burps. Me and Israel both hate sour burps. Because they stink, and I can literally like taste it. Like, I hate them, and I can't control it. So, and they last. Like, it's not like I will sporadically have a sour burp. Like, I will be gassy and just burping for like 2-3 hours of just sour burps constantly. It's disgusting. It truly is. I completely just, I did look it up, and it said that it can be due to acid reflux, which I was diagnosed with acid reflux years and years ago, and I haven't had a problem with acid reflux in years. So it kind of threw me for a loop when I started having the sour burps again, because I was like, what the heck is this? Where is this coming from? But the old wives said, oh, that means your baby gonna have a whole lot of hair. I was like, but I thought that was heartburn. But either or, all I know is I'm having sour burps. I haven't had any today, thank God. But yeah, they've been pretty intense, and they don't just come and go. They come, hang out, take their shoes off, get comfortable, and then when they get ready to go, then they leave. Like, that's how my sour burps are. Another thing I've been experiencing, I've been kind of gassy, like just pooting all over the place. I don't know, but it is. I'm just throwing it out there. Another thing that I've been experiencing is diarrhea. I know some women at this stage of the game, they either you have diarrhea or you're constipated. That's what a lot of stuff that I've been reading. I have been able to flow pretty much. Every now and again I will get constipated, but even when I do, even before I researched it, I was like, I bet she's laying in a way where it's like it can't go around it, so it can't come out. And when I actually researched it, that's exactly what one of the causes are, is the fact that the baby can be in a position where, for a lack of a better explanation, they're in a position where it's kind of like pinching your bowels in a way to where it doesn't flow out. It makes it more difficult to push out or whatever. But I, again, haven't really been experiencing a lot of that. And even when I do experience it, I may experience it that morning, and then by that afternoon, she's moved around a little bit, and I'm perfectly fine. But even with that, it rarely happens. For the most part, 90% of the time, it's just doing what it does. What else? Brain farts. I was actually told that brain farts don't go away. Like baby brain never actually goes away after you get pregnant. I mean, after you have the baby. And I was like, no. Because my brain was already, or my memory was already kind of shoddy to begin with. So baby brain has been kind of like, ooh. But I was like, I can't wait until after I have this baby so I can get back to like my normal process. And they were like, baby brain never really goes away. I was like, huh, what do you mean? But yeah. As far as other pains and discomforts, I have been experiencing Braxton Hicks and a couple of false labor episodes. But even before I started experiencing it, or like right after I started experiencing it, my doctor kind of walked me through what's true labor and what's false labor. And he basically said that when it comes down to false labor, you know, you can have the pain in your lower abdomen. It may be in your back. Or he was like, some women say, you know, they feel it in their lower abdomen or they feel it in their back, and they time it and it's kind of all over the place. He was like, that's false labor. But true labor happens when you feel it. Your stomach gets really tight, but to feel like the top of your belly, where your belly starts to come out, like right under your breast, that if that is really, really tight, then you're having a contraction. And to know that it's true labor, if you time your contractions, they're consistently getting closer. Whereas with false labor, you may go from them being 45 minutes apart to 30 minutes apart to 20 minutes apart to 27 minutes apart to 15 minutes apart to 30 minutes apart again. He was like, they're kind of all over the place. Whereas true labor, it consistently gets closer. It never goes back. It's always 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Like, it consistently gets closer. It's not like going all over the place. And he was like, once you get to that level and you're about 5 minutes apart, then head to the hospital. So that was actually good to know, because there was one night where I was just like, oh my gosh. But I was timing them and they were kind of all over the place. And I was like, you know what? This is what my doctor said. Because at one point it went from being between one contraction and another, it was 16 minutes. And then like 4 minutes later, I had another contraction. And then like 20 minutes later, I had another one. I was like, okay, this is not it. Even though it feels like it's it, this is not it. And he was like, and also with true labor, the closer they get, the more intense the pain or the pressure will feel. So that's just a little tidbit. If you're a first-time mom like myself and you were wondering what's the difference, because sometimes, you know, when you don't know, you'll rush to the hospital thinking you're in labor, and it's not really labor, and they send you home. And that kind of made me feel a little better, because I was like, if I do come to that, I won't waste anyone's time as well as my own, plus freaking myself out, and it's nothing to really freak out about. So that's just a little tidbit. If you are a first-time mom and you really don't know, that's what my OB told me. That's what I'm telling you. Braxton Hicks, I do experience dizzy spells as well, and I don't have to be moving around. I could literally just be sitting, talking, looking at you while we talk, and like get dizzy. Or I could be laying down and I can just randomly get dizzy. It's really random, and I've never experienced dizzy spells before, so I always assumed that you had to be moving or something in order to get dizzy, but apparently not. So yeah, I've been experiencing dizzy spells. I was gonna say brain farts. I said that already. Shin splints, So my legs, I work in retail. I'm on my feet 7 to 8 hours a day on concrete. In our store, our floor is a concrete floor. And I'm on the sales floor. I'm walking continuously, hours and hours and hours at a time. So I feel like my body, and the fact that I've never been to the best of my recollection, I've never been over like 128, maybe 130. Never been over that in my life. For 90%, 97% of my life, I've been in between 121 and 125. So that has kind of pretty much been my weight. If I get sick, I would drop down to like maybe 118, 115. But for the most, I can only recall 2 times in my life, and they were both short periods of time, where I was like 128 or like 130. I don't think I actually hit 130, but like around 128. And those were 2 very short periods of time in my life. So I think my body is having a hard time adjusting, and then being on my feet for so long out of the day, walking constantly, and then being on concrete. So I feel like my body is trying to get itself adjusted, but like my feet will hurt, of course. No shoe is comfortable. My legs will start to hurt and throb, but my shins will like, they start to feel like they're like bleeding. Like if you fall and like slide and like skin your leg, and you know that you're kind of bleeding, you're not bleeding like you got cut, but you know how if you skin something and like little bubbles of blood come, like that's how I feel like my shins are if I'm on my feet for too long. Like it hurts so bad. Even now, if I'm on my feet for like maybe 20 to 30 minutes or so, the pain starts to come, and I go ahead and sit down because I'm like, look, I'm not finna deal with that. Anything else? If you cannot tell, another symptom that I experienced is shortness of breath. I did hear that, after your baby drops, you have more room in your abdomen, so where you can breathe comfortably. Again, because your lungs have more room to expand a little bit. No, I still have really intense shortness of breath. Like it's really bad. Pelvic pain, lower back pain. Yes. Majority of the time, my back is hurting right now. Even when I lay down, my hips will hurt, and it's just been difficult just being comfortable, period. So just put that out there. But yes, I do experience back pain and pelvis pain, especially like when I'm trying to sleep or whatever. And you know how if you're sleeping this way and you want to roll over, you kind of do your legs like that to kind of turn over. That is like murder to me. Like it hurts so bad. Like my pelvis, oh my gosh, it's horrible. And I don't know if that's because she's actually in my pelvis or what the situation is. All I know is it hurts. And of course that leads me to my next thing, restlessness. I don't sleep. I've always had insomnia. It kind of runs in the family. So it's not very new to me not being able to sleep quite often, but it's even more now because I can't get comfortable, because it's a lot of time where I'm actually in pain. And spontaneous nausea is the last thing. Oh no, it's not the last thing, but I will spontaneously get nauseous, and they'll only last for like 15-20 minutes. I'll be like, ooh, I don't feel good. I'll go sit down, watch TV for about 15-20 minutes, and I'll be perfectly fine. And like it won't happen again for the rest of the day. Like I will sporadically just get nauseous for no reason, and then it'll go away. I don't know what that's about, but I'm just putting it out there. And the last thing that I can think of is, swelling. Even though my fingers look kind of tiny, like my engagement ring doesn't fit. It won't go over my knuckle anymore. Yeah. And that just started happening. I took it off one night because my finger kept hurting. And I was like, oh. And I had to pry it off my finger. And like, it just didn't go back on. It actually fit today, but I was like, I don't want to go down that road again, so I'm just going to leave it off. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and my nose is getting wide. It truly is. But that's really it. So I guess I will talk to you guys at my 39-week update. I'm finna lay down. I'm tired. But if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, anything like that, please leave everything below. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Alright.